Why do you think he does those things, though? Do you
For
think
money.
I
don't think he's got the money he says. That's what I think.
You think he still needs the money
I don't
after
think
all
he
these
needs
years?
the money. But
Let this, and myself, we helped build this guy up. He was fighting on my undercard. He was the co-main. We helped build this guy up. And you know what Oscar De La Hoya do? You know what Mr. Loyal Oscar De La Hoya do? I'm sorry, Miss Disloyal Oscar De La Hoya do? He take him right over to HBO and cut a deal with HBO. And when he cut the deal, he got money, but I bet Canelo didn't see none. But these are the things that people don't know about in a sport of boxing.
So the money's really gone.
Yeah, that's what you think. It's get the money, spend the money.
All that money.
And it took been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like
I don't even want to talk about it. Like with the lifestyle, that money is gone. Trust me.
The boxing world is not holding back from criticizing Mayweather for his actions. From scammy exhibition fights to whispers of debts, Floyd's once untouchable legacy seems to be crashing fast. And it all stems from one uncomfortable truth that's gaining traction. He might be going broke.
We got Floyd Mayweather back in the real estate news again. This guy's on an acquisition spree like I haven't seen in a long time. You got to remember, in October, he bought a portfolio of multifamily properties in around Manhattan for $402 million. Well, this time he went all in on office property for a $10 billion portfolio. I got this out of Real Deal, by the way. Now, some of these properties listed are 410 10th Avenue and Hudson Yards. You got Jersey City's Harborside Office Complex. You've got the Aon Center in Chicago and the old post office.
Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd's longtime rival in and out of the ring, has not held back. He's never really minced words when it comes to Floyd, and now he's doubling down. According to De La Hoya, Mayweather is a man doing everything possible just to stay relevant. The way Oscar sees it, when Floyd was active in boxing, the cash flow was massive and constant. That's why the money rained from his hands like confetti, $1 million watches, exotic cars he drove maybe, once private jets with his name stitched into the headrests, and strip club appearances that ended with cash showers. But all that flexing, Oscar claims, was never sustainable. Not unless you kept the tens of millions per fight checks rolling in.
I'm bringing the people into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me.
He believes Mayweather's image was a balloon held up by high-stakes paydays. The investments. Floyd talks about vague mentions of skyscrapers in the Middle East, gold mines, fashion lines, nightclub ventures. None of those bring in the kind of cash necessary to maintain the circus he built. It's just recently that Oscar even went online and told him to quit while there's something left to protect. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. You have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard and life is expensive, but come on, put your legacy first.
Stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive, but come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're gonna have to sell off your assets. I hate seeing this happen, bro.
And this isn't the first time De La Hoya has gone in. Back in 2018, when Canelo Alvarez signed that historic $365 million contract with DAZN, Oscar was on Cloud 9. Golden Boy Promotions had just sealed the most lucrative deal in boxing history. And what does Floyd do? He tries to belittle it. Mayweather said he could make that much from one fight. One fight. The nerve of it. Oscar didn't let that slide. He went straight to TMZ and ripped into Floyd, calling him a low life. How unfair is it that Canelo announces this big monumental deal, and Here you have Floyd crawling out of his little rock, trying to sabotage or trying to steal his thunder. That's who he is. He's a lowlife. That is exactly what Floyd is.
In the sport of boxing, when we talk about loyalty, when you look at Canelo, there's Steven Espinoza and the Showtime team let this, and myself, we helped build this guy up. He was fighting on my undercard. He was the co-main. We helped build this guy up. And you know what Oscar De La Hoya do? You know what Mr. Loyal Oscar De La Hoya do? I'm sorry, Miss Disloyal Oscar De La Hoya do?
Those weren't just the words of a promoter defending his fighter. They were personal. And now with everything, unraveling the real estate scandal, the lawsuit threats, the tax problems, Oscar believes Floyd has backed himself into a corner. No amount of smooth talking or diamond watches will make this one disappear. According to him, Mayweather doesn't even know how to address his fans anymore because it would mean admitting he's in trouble financially, emotionally, publicly.
Deal that's going to make him $300 million a month. You see that?
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Now, the fact that he pointed out was that everybody knows that he got his own capital, which is, money, right? But he still leveraged other people's money.
Absolutely.
So now he's making $300 million a month. Right. Well, he's going to, that's going to be his plan. So, just like I said, for like this, back to your example, right? The Airbnb, you get a place. I mean, there's a couple ways to do Airbnb. Yeah. You can do it so where you're visiting.
Hearn has also chimed in, and while he's not as animated as De La Hoya, his doubts carry more weight. Hearn is skeptical about Floyd's finances. He points to the insane spending habits, fleets of Bugattis, nights of 6F, figure gambling, multiple homes with astronomical upkeep costs, and raises a simple point. How can any investment keep up with that? In an interview with GRM Daily, Hearn said, "I don't think he's got the money." He says, "I don't think he needs the money, but when you've got that lifestyle, when he's spending what he's spending, you start to wonder."
The art of boxing. I think sometimes when these guys carry on and they do the exhibitions and all that kind of stuff, it just sort of diminishes the legacy a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
And that's what I feel like's happened with Mayweather.
Why do you think he does those things, though? Do you think
for money?
I
don't think he's got the money he says. That's what I think.
I think he still needs the money.
I don't
after
think
all
he
these years.
needs the money. But when you got that lifestyle, right? So when you're spending what he's spending,
it's a lot of
Mayweather continues to insist his finances are fine, that the exhibition fights are just fun, that it's not about the money. "I was born to be a fighter. I'm going to die fighter," he said in response to critics. But that's not what others around him are saying.
So one day, somebody asked, because I don't have social media on my phone. Yeah. So they showed me Eddie. Eddie was like, "Floyd Mayweather ain't got no money. That's why he doing exhibition." No, Eddie don't believe that now.
Yeah. But Eddie will say some shit like that. Now.
Eddie will say some shit, but no. But one thing, don't worry about that. But me and Eddie got it clear. Didn't we, Eddie? Yeah. One thing, me and my buddy got it clear.
We said as long as it's 10 or 20, no problem.
Anything less.
Earlier this year, Gervonta, Floyd's former protege, claimed that Mayweather had been detained in Dubai over unpaid debts. It was a shocking claim, and while Floyd's camp denied it, the story refused to die, and Gervonta isn't the only one hinting at Mayweather's money problems. The Paul brothers have been the loudest and most consistent voices accusing him of being a fraud.
People over in Dubai that money. Tell them get on live right now. And he owe people in Saudi Arabia money too.
That jab was intentional. Jake Paul just bought his own jet after making $20 million from his fight against Mike Tyson. Logan wanted one, too, but claims he can't afford it because Floyd stiffed him. That's more than a petty complaint. That's a public shot at Floyd's brand. If the man who built his legacy on easy money is still ducking payments, what does that say about the brand? the Pauls believe Floyd is too afraid to admit that the illusion of wealth is crumbling. He's scared to lose the money image. Jake said on his podcast, Floyd was the greatest boxer of his time, sure, but times don't last. Legacy doesn't pay bills. It's a brutal observation, but it's the kind that's starting to resonate in the fight world. People are beginning to look past the undefeated record and see a man clinging to an empire that's fading fast.
Oh, it's so sick. So this is what happens when you fight Mike Tyson, huh? I fought Floyd, he just robbed me. He still owes me money. Floyd, bro, pay me my money so I could get a jet. Dude, that's...
There are also whispers within boxing, circles that Floyd is deeply in debt to. Various shadow investors, people who bankrolled some of his ventures in exchange for profit shares that never materialized. Sources claim that Mayweather overpromised, underdelivered, and is now trying to clean up the mess. Quietly, the real estate scandal might just be the first to surface publicly, but insiders suggest it's just the tip of the iceberg. A former Mayweather promotion staffer anonymously told a UK tabloid that the company is bleeding and that most of the real action now happens offshore through shell companies tied to exhibition events. He's liquidating faster than he's earning. The source claimed he doesn't have the income streams to back up the Mayweather name anymore. It's a front.
Paul, he said you owe him some bread.
That comes with the territory.
Right.
To them, that's real money. The money is not coming fast enough. That's why when they say money on the back end, as far as pay-per-view, it take a while. Plus something. Be happy with the biggest payday you ever got in your life.
Still, Floyd continues to post. He continues to talk about generational wealth while showing off $500,000 cash piles on private jets. But for many, watching it feels like performance art, and the mask keeps slipping as more voices like De La Hoya, Gervonta, and the Pauls speak out. 50 Cent's latest jab wasn't random. It was strategic, calculated, and pointed directly at the very core of the Mayweather myth. The video he posted wasn't just about clowning. It was about peeling back a layer that many have whispered about for years. When he wrote, "Damn champ, they caught you, Cap," it wasn't just about trolling. It was about yanking the curtain open and letting the light hit the illusion. Floyd's been carefully curating. Fifth, always played the long game with his jabs.
In an EWV Rolls Royce. For those that don't know what an EWV is, that's an extended wheelbase Rolls Royce. I need the leg room. I know I ain't that tall, about 5'8.5", some days 5'9", but it is what it is. Chilling, sitting right here watching the Thriller in Manila, Ali versus Frazier documentary. Come check it out.
His comedic timing is only part of the appeal. He knows how to bury the real shot in a laugh, and this one landed flush. That laugh turned into a roar across timelines because the myth of Mayweather, the billionaire baller, the one who could buy out cities with pocket change, is starting to crack. And the crack is loud enough that even people in Floyd's own circle, people like Jeff Mayweather, aren't defending. They're letting silence speak, or in Jeff's case, just enough truth to show there's something off. That's the problem with illusions. They demand upkeep, and the more elaborate the lie, the more effort it takes to maintain.
What I'm doing right now, that's what I do every day. Shop. Pay them like a couple bucks. Greg, come with me.
I
didn't get these. Yeah. I did?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Don't give a fuck. We make it that simple.
Eddie Hearn also isn't speaking less. Hearn didn't talk in riddles. He said it plainly. There's no trail. There's no deal. This isn't about jealousy or beef. It's about calling time on a narrative that's worn thin. Because in boxing, credibility is everything. And when you start lying, about deals on the level of Manhattan. Skyscrapers you don't just risk embarrassment, you start eroding the legacy you built with your own hands. Floyd's legacy used to be bulletproof, undefeated, unmatched. But now every time he pops up on a flyer for another exhibition match in some foreign country, it feels more like a hustle than history. The opponents are no longer elite threats. They're influencers, TikTokers, and combat sports names way past their prime. The spectacle remains, but the respect, that's on a slow leak.
In Upper Manhattan, Business Insider reported that no such deal appears to have occurred. Floyd recently posted a video on Instagram claiming he bought 6 apartment buildings, stating that they are all his properties with no partners involved. However, Business Insider has contradicted these claims, stating that the ownership of the buildings remains unchanged and they are not Mayweather's, as he stated. Many are left questioning why Mayweather would make such a bold, untrue claim about his financial dealings.
All right, everyone. Stay tuned for the latest in boxing news, highlights, events, and stories. Subscribe to Knockout today and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Be sure to watch our other videos too. Until next time, take care and stay safe.